It's Talk Funny, a podcast by Mark Bailey and other comics from all over. We ended up in Japan because we wanted to try the food Japanese are most proud of. Hamburg steak, ramen, and pizza. The Talk Funny podcast from Nagoyaradio.com and Nagoyacomedy. Here's Mark Bailey.
And we're back with Talk Funny. I'm Mark Bailey. We're here with Mike Miller.
Good to be back.
We didn't talk much about when you go back to visit, but like last year, you went to see your folks, and did they bother you about, when you're going to settle down with a nice girl and say, Mom, I settled down with a nice imaginary girl every night?
Yeah.
And then she's gone in the morning.
I mean, I told her about my imaginary girl, and, just didn't work. Didn't
she
work
said,
for
that's
me.
fine. When's the imaginary wedding? I want an imaginary
kid. When's the imaginary kid coming? No, my parents are not. They don't bother me about stuff like that. But they are always like, when are you coming back? And when are you coming back? And and I'd like to go back more. But you come over here, you get settled. You come over here, like most people, for 1 year. Then 12 years later, you're sitting in a room doing a podcast.
That was a long year.
Yeah. I kind of feel sorry for my parents because I'm so far away, but, they haven't come to see me. So they could at least make a little bit of an effort to come out.
My wife and I, a long time ago, of course, when we were married, we got married in Switzerland, And my wife said...
Really?
Yeah.
Because neutral territory?
Yes, neutral. And, it gets her used to speaking German, which is actually her destiny after I got to know her. And
That's where the gold bars are.
And, the idea was it's perfect because, her family can come from Japan. It's technically midway.
Yeah.
And then my parents can come from the States. Nobody's parents came. Nobody's parents came.
Nice.
Might as well have it on Mars.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
It's like...
You should have had one of those nice destination ones, in the Caribbean or something.
Yeah. When you were in Canada, I spent most of my time in the eye clinic.
Yeah, I heard.
Some kind of the equivalent of LASIKs without the lasers and without the trained technicians.
And with a knife.
Yeah. And without anesthesia. That was really bad.
That's great.
They give you local anesthesia, was just in your eye, so you can't feel pain, but you can hear squish, squish, squish. That's worse.
Oh, God.
You can hear squish, and I think a lot of people, when they have, if they have an acid trip, I pretty much had an acid trip just from when they opened my eye up. All just beautiful colors. I'm not kidding. It's beautiful colors, and I could see, actually, the cilia in my nerves, in my eye nerves.
Oh, jeez.
They look like willows. I think a lot of people with acid trips are probably seeing the inside of their eyes.
Yeah, probably. And
these cilia, they're kind of like it's kind of hallucination. Sometimes they look like monkeys attacking each other, and it was really freaking me out. And then they play this music to kind of calm you down, but it was basically music from the 70s. So I see all these monkeys attacking each other, and what comes on but ooga chaka, ooga chaka, ooga. I'm hooked on a feeling. They're like, how you doing? And I said, listen, I really don't like this. You've got my eyes covered, you got my nose covered, and then you're covering my mouth. How am I supposed to breathe? It feels like waterboarding. You're laying down flat.
Yeah.
They said, don't worry, we have a machine that monitors whether you're breathing or not, so you don't have to worry about it. I'm like, yeah, but how do I let you know if I'm not breathing? They said, it'll be fine. The machine will beep. And he goes, all right. Plug it in. Oh, it wasn't plugged in?
Oh, God.
It wasn't plugged in? Is this Homer Simpson's surgery garage?
Please leave a message after the beep. Wow.
So they did the right eye, and they said, okay, so tomorrow you get to do this all over again. And I said, I definitely got some requests. I don't like this squishing, and I don't like all that. I can see the needle coming into my eye.
Of course you can.
And I can see them taking out.
Because your eye has to be open.
Yeah.
And they put the, what is it? It's
a plastic
what's the movie, Clockwork Orange? They put the little Clockwork Orange, eye opener thing on you?
I actually do. And there's an opening, and you can put in the tools.
And then they turn on Netflix, and you're forced to watch a season of Aziz Ansari's Master of None.
And that's worse than waterboarding.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And he's the reason for waterboarding.
Yeah. Just kidding,
to Mike
Aziz.
Miller.
Kidding, Aziz.
Tofi,
you were crushing it in New York.
So I said, I'll pay for the morphine. Just knock me out. They said, we can't do that because you have to look left and up and right when we tell you to, so we can position the stuff. And I got it done. Then after that, I have to wait 2 hours every day, 2 to 3 hours every day. So I learned a lot of things. One thing is, I think that medicine, it's not actually about prevention. It's about punishment. It's like, you didn't take care of your eyes, so now we're going to waste 2 hours of your life.
Yeah.
You didn't spend time flossing and brushing your teeth, and now you got a lot of cavities.
Yeah.
We're going to waste 3 hours of your day for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Every day. Did you learn your lesson now? And another thing I learned is, you go in to see the doctor finally after all the nurses poking and prodding. That was the fun part, the poking and the prodding. And you go in and you see the doctor, and he's sitting in this dark room with a little nightlight writing notes. I'm like, I thought they told me in 3rd and 4th grade I'll go blind if I do that. And the eye doctor's in a dark room.
No, it wasn't that, Mark.
No, that's What's that?
You're confusing that with something else.
What's that joke where the father walks into the room and says, "Hey, son, if you keep playing with yourself, you're going to go blind." And he goes, "I'm over here, Dad." My dad likes that joke.
That's good.
So another thing I learned is, this is fun. You're sitting in the clinic, and there's this really hot girl. She's leaning up against there's no seats. She's leaning up against the wall. This is August, so she's in, those cut-up blue jeans, but these were blue jeans shorts.
Oh, my Lord.
And she was just gorgeous. Nice long legs. Beautiful, probably 22. Actually, I know how old she is now. She's 22. And we're Facebook friends, and this is how that happened.
We're Facebook friends.
Yeah, she was on.
Wow.
If you were in an eye clinic, don't call people by their real names that you could look up on Facebook, because they called her and they sent her back, and they called her again, they sent her back, and I memorized her name. Kobayashi Megumi. I just said, I've got it.
Then you went over and said, "Hey, Megumi, how you doing?"
And after, with one hand, saying Megumi, Kobayashi Megumi with one hand all night long, you remember her name. So I just looked her up, and then I looked her up, and there she is on Facebook. And as she leaves, and I said, "Megumi," and she goes, "Do I know you?" And I said, "I met you." It said she lived like in Timpakuku. And I said, "I was somewhere in. Do you live in Timpakuku?" Because I was walking around. She goes, "What part of Timpakuku?" As you know, Timpaku Ward in Nagoya is like a huge
it's massive
swath of non-cities.
Yeah.
It's just a huge area.
It's like suburban hell.
Yeah, it goes like from Seto. It basically takes up all of the places. It was gerrymandered to take up all the places that the other wards didn't take up. So it goes from Seto to Midori Ward to Kita Ward. It's just nowhere's land. And she goes, "Where did I see you?" I said, the convenience store, the family law, the family law.
Family law, 7-Eleven, mini stop.
I don't think they even make mini stops anymore, but, the mini law. Oh, the Lawson, yeah, the Lawsons. She goes, "Oh, yeah, I've been at the Lawsons."
Oh,
like, that's where I saw you.
Luck of the draw.
And then I was, talking to her on Facebook, and she goes, "Well, you know what I noticed since I talked to you and I went back to that eye clinic, that they're calling all of our names."
She's
so
smart.
I never noticed.
She's smart.
Does that mean I'm blocked or hello? Then there was
that's how you got banned from Facebook.
And there was another girl, and I was able to find her too. So I guess my point is, from a safety, in the era of Me Too and hashtag Me Too and safety, if you have a daughter or a significant other, don't let her give a false name. Have a false ID or something, or just tell the nurses
safe word.
"Hey, there's a lot of creepy people out here."
Just whisper your voice when you're around Mr. Mark Bailey. That's the moral of the story.
So that's one thing you can learn. So I'm bored, and I'm just sitting around there.
Yeah, of course you're bored.
Also, it's like all these old
really
people,
boring,
and they say, "Well, your right eye is really has a lot of damage and everything. Your right eye, it's going to need a lot of surgery." And I'm looking around at all these other people. It's like, what's the over/under on this guy next to me? He's like 82. It's like, how about I just buy his eye? He's not even wearing glasses. He's here with his wife. His eyes are fine. He's 82. What?
He doesn't need it. You need binocular vision.
Screwdriver and Tupperware set and some ice. I think I'm set.
Yeah.
And some tweezers.
Well, you could have gone to China for that, maybe.
Yeah, what could go wrong in China?
Nothing at all.
Another episode, we'll talk about some Netflix. We had promised to do that.
Yeah, but that's pretty scary, because especially when they're operating on your eye like that, and you're lying down and you can't close your eye, and in Japan they're really loath to give you painkillers, like you're saying and stuff, because in Japan the mentality is you got to bear the pain, so they don't give out painkillers like candy, like in Canada or the U.S.
They're afraid to give it to you because then you're going to get addicted, and then you're going to sue them.
Well, it makes, in a sense, they got that right? Because how many people get addicted in the U.S. from surgery and stuff?
Yeah, apparently, back with OxyContin, when people getting addicted to that, their doctors are just handing it out like candy, because pharmaceutical companies are basically giving it to them free and saying, "See, just collect reports that we want to know. We'd like to know what the side effects are." I'm sorry, don't you have an R&D department, research? Guinea pigs. It's like, and Americans will take anything for free. Okay, yeah. But yeah, my wife won't even take Tylenol.
Wow.
Which is really inconvenient, because most of the ways you can poison is disguised as Tylenol, and she won't even take that. But I gave her a Tylenol
one time. She won't take Tylenol.
Time.
She won't take roofies. What's going on?
She had a horrible migraine. I gave her Tylenol, and then she goes, "I'll just take half because it's extra strength." And I said, "Just take the whole one. It's fine. Take 2 in 24 hours, and 1 is fine. You're fine, And she took it. She goes, "Yeah, I can feel it working already." I'm like, "That's no." Tylenol, it's like the White Rabbit song by Jefferson Airplane. One pill makes you bigger, and the other one makes you small, and the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Tylenol doesn't do anything at all. She goes, "But it's extra strength." And I'm like, "Yeah.
That's marketing, baby."
Yeah, she's afraid to take that. She goes, "It's kind of like taking morphine." I'm like, "Do you have access to morphine?" So I guess we'll wrap this up.
Where you been hiding the morphine all this time?
This has been. Wait a minute. You think Tylenol is like morphine? So this has been Talk Funny, and we'll see you next week, Mike. And thanks for listening, guys.